Once upon a time, in the small village of Izzy, lived a woman called Nneka. Nneka had a beautiful daughter called Ogechi. Ogechi and her mother sold vegetables and fruits in the local markets to make ends meet. Ogechi was a very smart and obedient girl who loved helping her poor mother in any way she could. Her mother struggled to pay her school fees from the little money she made from the market. When Ogechi turned 16 years old, her beauty became immeasurable. Her mother became worried and scared. Her mother became scared and worried each passing day because she could see how men lusted after her teenage daughter. She did not want her daughter to fall victim just like she did. Nneka made sure that Ogechi did not go hungry, even if it meant that she would starve herself. Ogechi was well aware of everything her mother did and went through just to put food on her table, and so she swore never to disappoint her mother. Different men came to her. Some sought friendship while others sought marriage. Ogechi turned them down because she had promised herself that she would only settle down for a man who was financially capable of taking care of her and her mother. After secondary school, Ogechi decided she would go look for a job in order to assist her mother. Nneka, her mother, refused and insisted that she sit for JAMB and get admitted into the university like her mates. On the day she was to write her JAMB exams, it rained heavily and it was difficult to get a bike that would take her to town, so she decided to walk. On her way, a man in a very nice looking car saw her walking in the rain and decided to help her. She was skeptical at first, but didn't want to miss her exams, so she entered the car. During their drive, she got to know he was a businessman who was well established. He claimed never to have been married, as he was busy building his empire. When he dropped her off, he asked for her phone number, so she told him she doesn't have a phone. He promised to be back before her exams were over. When she came out of the exam hall, he was waiting and he handed her a brand new phone. She was happy but unsure if she was to accept the gift or not. The man persuaded her for a while and she finally accepted it, but she was scared and unsure of what to tell her mother. He dropped her home and gave her some money. Nneka was still at the market when she came back, so Ogechi bought foodstuffs with the money she had received and made soup filled with meat and fish. When Nneka returned, Ogechi told her everything that happened. Nneka was very scared, so she advised her daughter to be careful, but at the same time, she didn't want to push the man away as he might be their destiny helper. Ogechi got admitted into the university, and her new friend offered to pay her school fees and even rented a very nice hostel for her to live in. They got to know each other more, and she learned that his name was Oku. Oku took care of her and her needs. He even sent money to her mother for her upkeep. In school, it was assumed that she was from a wealthy home because of how well she was living in school compared to her peers. Her mother called her and warned her not to have anything to do with any man till she was done with studies. She also told her to stop taking anything from the man called Oku, as she senses that he is no longer doing things out of free will, but now has a motive. Ogechi was used to the good life and doesn't wish to go back to the life of suffering. So she stopped telling her mother about Oku and pretended she had cut ties with him. One day, Oku came to visit her in the hostel and made sexual advances at her. She refused. He then told her he would withdraw his support and finance if she doesn't comply, but she still refused him. After weeks of not hearing from Oku, she called him over and over again, but he didn't reply. She realized she was beginning to miss his company, and most especially, she was missing all the good times she had and the money and gifts that he showered on her. She later called him back up and apologized, and then accepted his proposal. They gradually started having a relationship. Even though most of her friends told her the man was too old for her, she cared less and continued having the time of her life. Soon she realized she was pregnant and she became afraid. She told him she couldn't face her own mother, but he comforted her and told her he would take full responsibility and would marry her as soon as possible. She became happy and informed her mother. Her mother was furious, but could not do much as the deed was already done. Oku called her mother to inform her that he would be coming with his people soon to pay Ogechi's bride price. Ogechi's mother agreed, as it was better than having her give birth out of wedlock and raise her child alone. When the day for the introduction finally came, Oku came with his people. Few elders were present as well. Nkechi came out to meet her would-be son-in-law and was shocked at who she saw. When she saw Oku, she screamed, and he was equally shocked to see her. When Ogechi came out, she told her mother he was her husband-to-be. Nkechi broke down in tears. When the people present inquired why she was sobbing, she began telling her story. Nneka recalled how she was heading to school one fateful day and encountered a young man from the village who was notorious for his mischievous escapades. She tried her best to run away from him, but could not. He came to her and dragged her forcefully into the nearby bushes. He then forced himself on her. She tearfully found her way home, but there was nothing her blind mother could do for her. She went to few relatives, but they did nothing. The boy who raped her ran away from the village for fear of the village youths. Months later, she found out she was pregnant and had to drop out of school to take care of her child. Her blind mother died when Ogechi was 2 years old, leaving her to fend for her child alone. The people gathered were left in shock to find out that the person she just spoke about was none other than Oku himself. "You mean that Oku is my father?" Ogechi asked. Oku cried in shame. Ogechi fainted and was rushed to the hospital. She later lost the pregnancy out of shock and returned home. Oku came to beg them, but they refused to listen to him and asked him to stay away from them. Ogechi tried committing suicide severally because of the thoughts that she had slept with her own father. Her mother fought and struggled to keep her daughter alive. The mother then decided to relocate to another state for a fresh start. Oku looked for them for a very long time and finally located them. When he did, he pleaded and pleaded for forgiveness. They later forgave him, but asked him to stay away from them. He tried making amends for what he had done for the rest of his life.
Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button and share. See you soon, bye.